We also meet Daniel, who talks about his experiences in Guam and Iowa and what he loves about both.
So what I love about being in Iowa right now, and also I've been to Guam because of the Navy, I think that there's a lot of connections between both places. The fact that, here in Iowa, they have Iowa Nice. And I don't say that they're not nice, but they're definitely really nice to us because of RAGBRAI. We're coming through, we're supporting their towns, we're doing these things. But at the same time, when I went to Guam, I had the same niceness, the hospitality. People were there, it was great. But I also felt like somewhat similarity is because I was coming through with the Navy. We were passing by, it was an opportunity, but it was still amazing because I loved it, like the scenery. I'm in Iowa this week. This week, heaven is Iowa. When I was in Guam, I thought Guam was like heaven because it was so amazing. The people were nice, the scenery is beautiful. I loved it for the snorkeling. For here, I love it for the biking. They have different things, and somebody would say they're like polar opposites, but in reality, they're the same, and I love that about it. Daniel Hurd, DANIEL HURD, and I'm Ride with Dan USA of the One Pedal at a Time movement. I've been riding for a little over 5 years, on and off, for suicide prevention. My organization is called the One Pedal at a Time movement, and it's about encouraging people to become active. And really, for this program, it's about cycling and getting people on bikes, but in reality, it's just about movement. We're getting people involved in communities that we have within those communities of activities, so that we don't feel alone, and that, I can't remember the gentleman's name off the top of my head right now, but he's a very important gentleman that's with suicide prevention and education. And he said something to the lines of, it's hard to think about suicide when you're doing it, when you're jumping rope. And it's hard to think about those dark thoughts when you're being super active, because you have to stay focused and you have to think about what you're doing in the moment. Same thing as cycling. And thankfully, it saved my life as well. I attempted suicide 3 times with point on a fork when the friend got me on a bicycle. And that same friend was the one that told me it's one pedal at a time. And, biking could have changed my life, but it was that phrase that became my mantra, my nonprofit, and my way of life in reality.
Thank you.
Suicide prevention. One pedal at a time movement. Bracelets? Because even on our hardest days, we can still take that next step. And if we can't, that's when we need to ask for help, so that we can get the help to take our next step. So that's what we do, is we train them, we give the education so we get the practice and the real world implementation of saying, hey, are you okay? Are you thinking of suicide? Are you thinking to harm yourself or anybody else? Just asking the right questions and not being afraid that you're going to trigger them. Because something that I definitely want to mention is, don't be afraid to ask those questions. Don't be afraid to say, hey, are you thinking of suicide? Are you depressed? Because if they aren't thinking of suicide and you ask them that question, they're going to be so thankful that somebody's thinking of them that level. It's making me emotional. It's important. And if you call them out on it and they are thinking of it, maybe they will realize that there's people out there that are being aware and acknowledging their struggles and their need for help, and hopefully that gives them the courage to say, yeah, I am struggling with suicide, or the thoughts of suicide. So just make sure, if someone ever comes to you, or if you know somebody that's struggling, be heard. Let them be heard. Listen, judgment free, and take it one person at a time, one pedal at a time, one moment at a time, even one breath at a time. We all get through it.
Wise words. AI, it's all yours.
In the echoes of movement and purpose, Daniel Hurd,
a torchbearer of the one petal at a time movement. His words weave tales of connection. From Iowa's heart to Guam's distant shores, he finds common threads, bonds that endure. Iowa's nice and Guam's hospitality, a symphony of kindness, a universal chord. RAGBRAI's wheels spin, towns embraced in Iowa's embrace, a shared warmth, a similar kindness, a mirror in Guam, where water's whispers cradle the soul, polar opposites, some might declare. Yet in Daniel's eyes, the truth unfolds, a shared essence, a unity found, different hues of the same vibrant thread. Petals weave a tale, Iowa to Guam's embrace. Kindness knows no bounds.
Not bad.